Hey everybody, this is Mike Childress from Agile Marketing Collective. Today, I want to invite you into a discussion about a marketing philosophy that we call do the next thing. And hear me out. I think too much of you, and I have too much respect for you to make this into some sort of crummy commercial. My hope is that this will start a really interesting discussion about how we approach work, how we approach life, but most importantly for this topic today, how we approach our marketing and how we move beyond fear, how we gain momentum, and how we do the next thing. We all want to feel like we're building strong, healthy businesses, that we're doing everything that we can, and I think we all understand that that requires action. And obviously there's ill-advised action, there's unwise action. That's a different topic. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt that you don't fall into that trap. The kind of action I'm talking about is just picking up the next brick and putting it in the wall. And then eventually you step back and you've built something. But so often it's easy to let fear get in the way of that. To let fear cause us to second guess or to never start at all. If you're not chipping away at your marketing, even just on your own DIY marketing, I feel like you're missing a huge opportunity. When I go out with people and they ask me for a marketing tip, it's getting back to what we're talking about here, the do the next thing mentality. I think you should be chipping away at your marketing. Right now, you should be thinking about what the next thing is that you can do. Because what it's going to do, it's going to make you more engaged with your business. It's going to help you understand your target clients better. It's going to challenge some of your ideas about your target clients, and sometimes people don't like the way that feels. But it's going to make you so much more invested in your business, and more than you know, you're going to look back and see that you've built something. And I will tell you, every single client we've had who has done a little DIY marketing before and has gone through this thought process and involved their team is always just a step ahead when we get started. There's not as much figuring things out. It's kind of like, this is what we've done. This is what we've noticed. What do you think? And then we build a campaign around it. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So with all those great things about DIY marketing, about doing the next thing, the real question is, why don't we do the next thing? Let me give you a bit of a personal example for me. I tend to be naturally kind of a high-level strategic thinker, and that could sound like a humble brag, but it's not. Because the downside of that sort of thinking is sometimes it's hard to really get down to like the nitty-gritty to figure out that next thing to do. And it's a real effort for me to sit down and say, this is where we're headed. Here are the tiny little steps to take. And you know what's great about do the next thing is that sometimes it's easy for me to step back and be like, I have all this to do. This is such a huge thing. But if I'm just like, no, I just need to open this document. I just need to type this. I just need to create this logo. I just need to do the next thing. Then it breaks it down into bite-sized chunks. Sounds simple, but sometimes it helps to think through this process. I was raised with my mom saying you can eat the biggest elephant one bite at a time, and some people commonly say you can climb the biggest mountain one step at a time. It's figuring out that next bite. What's that next step? That's a way for people like me who can get stuck at a high level to get down to doing the next thing. Another reason why I think we don't do the next thing, that good DIY marketing, is because we're afraid it's a waste of time. As business owners, as executives, as leaders, there is so much on our plate and we have so much competing for our time. And it can be so difficult to carve out time, especially on something that sometimes feels like a long shot. But I'm telling you, if you put in the effort and you put in the time and you do it with integrity and honesty, I think all that's going to happen is you're going to help people get to know you better. I think it's just going to be a better result. And that idea leads me into another fear that I think some people have. It's that They're going to put something out and it's not going to be perfect and it's not going to be great. It's not going to be everything they want. And sometimes perfectionism can really be the enemy of this doing the next thing. It's not going to be perfect. I can guarantee you it's not going to be perfect. I feel like oftentimes we learn a lot more from mistakes than we do from just knocking it out of the park every time. I think the same is true of our marketing. I think that there is good in making some mistakes. I'm not encouraging you to try to make mistakes, but don't let perfectionism hold you back from throwing something out there. Because like I was saying, if it's done with integrity and honesty, it's just going to let people see who you are. It's going to be a representation of who you really are, even if the graphics aren't perfect. Even if it's just sort of a hacky website, at least you have something up there. People can see who you are, and then you can help refine that and do the next thing and do the next thing. And when you're ready, create some huge marketing campaign, get somebody to come alongside you and do a website, all that kind of stuff. But until then, do the next thing and don't let perfectionism destroy your momentum. My opinion is that doing the next thing is all about building momentum. When you step back and you look at the entirety of all you need to do with your business, it's easy to get overwhelmed. It's easy to give up. It's easy to not even try. But when you're doing the next thing, you're taking that one tiny little step. Whatever that might be for your marketing. If you don't have a website, go to one of these do-it-yourself website platforms and create something, even if it's just an about page. Take a picture, get a friend who's got a camera to take a picture for you, and just do that next thing and continue to build. And then later on down the road, do the marketing campaigns, build your audience, turn it into something huge, but don't let your momentum die. Because I feel like momentum is such an important part of our entire business, and it has to be a big part of your marketing. And sometimes people just kind of let their marketing lay. And sometimes they'll even do a big campaign with an agency and they won't touch it for 3 years. And then when they come back to do another campaign, it's like completely starting over again. There's no reason to let that happen if you're doing the next thing. So what do you think? Do you think I missed some of the fears? Do you think there's anything to this do the next thing? What would you add to what I've got to say? What I want to do is have an open conversation with each one of you. This is a multi-part series. Next, we're going to be breaking down several aspects of the do the next thing mentality. And I want to hear from you. I want this to be something where I hear from you, I learn from you, we exchange ideas, and we create a usable, practical framework to build your marketing. Thanks for watching.